All right, let's talk, everybody, now. The Peruvian American sandwich here, Heath, Pearce, Jimmy Conrad, LME. We're going to talk MLS conference finals or just, the semifinals. Let's just make it easier for everybody. All right, in the West, Portland Timbers against Real Salt Lake on Saturday. By the way, I talked to Gio Savarese, one of the best people out there. I'm so happy I finally got to talk to him. And then the other side, Philadelphia Union host NYCFC on Sunday. And also check out Tati Castellanos and yours truly chatted as well. He won't be available for that one. But all of these games are amazing. If Real Salt Lake win, by the way, boys, and NYCFC win, we could have MLS Cup final in Yankee Stadium.
They won't play at Yankee Stadium. They will not play at Yankee Stadium.
Please make it happen. Jimmy, let's begin with your thoughts. I mean, we can go anywhere. Do you want to take West? And
I'll take the West. I'll take the West. What I'll say very quickly is that the Portland Timbers were the number 4 seed at the start of the playoffs in the West, and Real Salt Lake were number 7, meaning that Real Salt Lake have to win every single game away from home to be MLS Cup champions. And they are doing it in fine form. And actually, I feel like they're getting better as this goes along. Now, obviously, they sat back against the Sounders in Seattle and to get any shots on goal over 120 minutes and won in penalties. But they actually went into Kansas City, another club that I used to play for 8 years. And I'm on the wall over there in the stadium. That's my flex of the day. How long did that take me? It only took me an hour to get a flex.
No, you just showed us your ring. You flexed multiple times so far.
I did multiple flex within a 2-minute span.
Flex away, Jimmy. Flex away.
But they went in there and I actually thought they were disciplined. They had a plan. And maybe the first half, Kansas City got a little bit of the better of them. But I thought that they, in some ways, pocketed the attack for Sporting Kansas City and then brought in some super subs that changed the game. They went on to win it in Kansas City.
And they have a villain, Jimmy Conrad.
They do. David Ochoa.
This league needs a villain, and I love it. Yeah,
he's not afraid to talk some trash, so I appreciate that as well. Going into Portland to get a result when they know they have a chance at home to book their ticket to the MLS Cup final, knowing that they could potentially host it if that happens, is got to be. And I actually think that pressure worked against Kansas City. Once they saw the Colorado Rapids got knocked out, they would have their chance to host the Western Conference final and maybe host the MLS Cup. And they didn't take it. Salt Lake, for me, are flying right now. They have that team of destiny vibe. And I don't think that should be underplayed or not given enough weight. I think that they are just playing with house money. Rusnak should be back in the team. And I think that's important because he's been hurt a little bit. Now, talking about injuries, we could argue the Timbers are missing their 2 top players who are hurt. Sebastian Blanco's out, and Darren Asprilla are both going to be out for this Western Conference
for a red card, right? So
that's right. So, and Blanco's, I think he's going to be out for the playoffs unless he pulls some like Willis Reed,
their lead assist king.
Yeah, the 1970s New York Knicks center. That's going to come back all hobbled and still try to make a play. Kirk Gibson hitting that home run. I don't think we're going to see that. And I think that really hurts Portland. I think that makes their attack a lot more predictable, and I think that plays into Salt Lake's hands. And again, that vibe for Salt Lake is something fierce. I actually like Salt Lake to pull off the upset and book their ticket to the MLS final. I know. I'm putting my flag in the ground there.
Well, Jimmy, I'll follow up on the West and then talk East, and you can follow up on that if you want to.
Okay,
but
sure.
My West thought is just obviously when we're talking about management, right? When we're talking about a coach that has brought in that belief. When he came in the first year and took them to a final, and they got absolutely battered by Atlanta in Atlanta, and we're humbled by that. But when you look at the team that they had on the field, when you look at the squad that they had, they weren't one of the better teams in the league. And he, I guess the point I'm trying to make is he has that motivation. Jimmy, you and I know we both played pickup with him. We both hung out with him tons of times in New York when he was with the Cosmos. An incredible person, an incredible manager that just gets the most out of the players. Anytime that I've gone up to Portland, I pop by, I see him, he welcomes me in, and you just feel this embrace of warmth and family.
He's amazing. I love Gio.
That's incredible. The flip side, though, is that you have this Real Salt Lake side. And funny enough, Real Salt Lake's only championship came in 2009 when they made the playoffs on the last day, and again, had that team of destiny type of mentality where they snuck into the playoffs based on a couple other teams. They needed help. They won their final.
I remember. I was still playing. I remember it well.
Yeah, they needed help from others. They got the help from other teams. They won in the last game, and then they made this scrappy run to win the final. And they sort of had that same sort of mentality. And yeah, we sometimes we think about this sort of like nothing to lose type of mentality. But when you're in the playoffs and you find yourself further than you were supposed to be, and you find yourself statistically saying, hey, we haven't had a shot, but we won, those are the things you actually can rely upon in these games where you believe that you can beat anybody. And you go, guys, we got nothing to lose. We're not supposed to be here. No one expects us to be here. Everyone's laughing at us right now. And then you've got the villain in Ochoa. I got no time for that because I wish he was a villain in Olympic qualifying for the U.S. U.S. national team. But we'll get to that another time. On the Eastern Conference, again, missing your best player, your goal scorer, I think that's a huge loss for NYCFC. Obviously, for anybody who hasn't been paying attention, it happened in the 113th minute, getting sent off in a game where you are now the key player for everyone to be sent off. He's also been fined for refusing to leave the field in the 113th minute by the league.
Not surprised.
An undisclosed fee, but knowing that, obviously imagine the emotion you go into when you've been sent off and now you're out for this game, suspended for one match, and this one gives Philly the opportunity. Philly, I think, is the best team probably left in the playoffs in terms of the quality of the squad that they have. I thought they were probably one of the worst teams that entered the playoffs, but now you've seen most of the big playoff teams kind of go out. So I like Philly's odds to be able to do this one. I like Portland to be able to finally to take this one against Real Salt Lake, and then the final likely then would be, well, not likely, would be hosted in Portland, which would be an unbelievable experience for an MLS Cup. Although obviously, I would love to see that being hosted in Philly as well. I just don't want it on a baseball field, guys.
Yeah, Jimmy, why don't you jump on the East there?
No, I'm just gonna say without Tati Castellanos, who is the leading goal scorer in MLS. I just don't know where NYCFC is going to get their goals. I'm a big Maxi Morales fan. The number 10 for NYCFC is cute as a button. He's got those Ever Banega vibes. I really love that dude.
Cute as a button list.
He's cute as a button, everybody. But is he enough to, maybe on a set piece, I could see NYCFC getting a goal, but in the run of play, I just don't know how they're going to do it with
Ismail Tajuri. Is he good enough to do it?
They're good enough, but I just feel like the center backs and the goalkeeper, you need a hot goalkeeper to win anything of consequence. We say it a lot here. And Andre Blake, for me, tremendous in the penalties against Nashville. Yep. At home. Their record at home this season is 13 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. And without the striker that I think you needed to maybe penetrate that defense and get some good opportunities on goal consistently, and him not being there, I just feel like Philly, this is really stacking up for Philly. Now, I will say, just to throw this out there, and everybody who's a Philly fan is like, please don't say it. There have been a lot of Open Cup finals, U.S. Open Cup finals in Philadelphia, and they've gotten to the final a couple of times, and they never win that one. They have to actually get past this obstacle first, and I think that they will. If Castellanos was playing, I think I might have leaned towards NYCFC to do something, maybe take it into extra time, maybe go to penalties again. But I just think that Philly's going to have enough on both sides of the ball to outlast this NYCFC team, who should be proud of what they've accomplished this season, but it's not going to be enough to get there. And then I still think RSL is going to win. I think it's going to be close. And then they're going to host. Philly's going to host for a chance to win.
All right, so let's do these predictions then. All right, so who's your final? What's your final? Jimmy, I know Heath, you already said it, but I want you to repeat it.
I'll say RSL Philly in the final. Philly's going to host the final December 11th.
All right, Heath?
I'm saying Portland against the Philadelphia Union in Portland for the final. And by the way, Castellanos is your golden boot. Imagine the demoralizing feeling of a locker room saying we've relied upon this guy and now he's gone. I mean, this is the golden boot winner for Major League Soccer, and you don't have him. I don't care who you have on the field. Somebody scored, have been that big of a producer for your team. It's hard to replace that, and especially in such a short time, and both mentally and physically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it is worth mentioning that it's a double-edged sword because it was Castellanos' goal as well that helped get NYCFC to here in the first place. So players like Rodriguez, Maxi Morales, and Jesus Medina, by the way, who were still kind of waiting for him to light it up. I'm going to say NYCFC wins this one and Portland wins this one. And Portland will host, right, against NYCFC. And
can I just say for the record that Portland actually do play in a baseball stadium, but it's been retrofitted to actually.
So it's either way, right. So we have our.
You might get your wish, Luis. You might get your wish.
It looks. I mean, they fixed it.
I know they fixed it.
But if you want to watch the battered bastards of baseball, that's a great documentary about the Portland team that was owned by a what's his name, the actor and a celebrity. It's an incredible film that was based in that stadium that is now one of the better atmospheres in MLS.
It is. It's one of the best, maybe the best, definitely the best when it comes to these players, by the way. I gotta give some love to NYCFC. It's the team of my hometown and the only Peruvian left. Alex Callens is in NYCFC.